Captain Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
By now, y'all should have seen the last two videos of Nolan Wells' friend speaking on what happened the day of Nola Wells' disappearance. If you haven't seen them, if you're new to the channel, I will have both of those videos at the end of this video. Well, he's back. This is the part 4. Part 4, y'all. I only caught it from part 2 and part 3. Now we on part 4. And I noticed something about this video that I'm about to show you guys right now. This is supposed to be Nolan Wells' best friend. And I noticed through all these videos that I have done a reaction to with him in it, not one tear came out of his eye. I haven't seen him get emotional. I haven't seen him choke up. If this is your best friend and something happened, you're going to feel some type. They're going to have to pass you some tissue. Because you're going to have tears out your eyes. You're going to be emotional. You're going to have to, hey, excuse me, let me get a moment. Let me get a break real quick. We don't see none of that. Only thing I see is smooth talking from this kid right here, man. From this youngster, this young man. He's not a kid. He's a young man. And what really ticked me off about the video that I'm about to show you guys, tried to paint Nolan Wells as a drunk. Yeah, he's a drunk. They trying to give him a bad name to make it seem like he just got faded and wonder. Oh, matter of fact, I don't even want to talk no more. Let's go over here and finish it, you guys. Let's go.
I didn't come down here, do anything other but to get the truth. Did you kill Nolan? Did you have anything to do with Nolan's death? Did you delete anything out of Nolan's phone? People are still out there partying and
Correct.
They're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down, like, the boat could possibly sink, and Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get the F on the boat, get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. The next day, I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey man, they just found his body. My reaction was I was with my buddy Brooks, and I broke down.
You guys had been interviewed by law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Why you ain't broke down on none of these shows? You said you broke down when you got the phone call, but you ain't broke down. You'll still feel it. It ain't been nothing, a couple of weeks, 2 weeks. You don't, and I'm pretty sure this show was filmed before we got it. So you ain't broke down on this show at all, huh?
All of you guys have given statements. But then I think that there's a part associated with this that's being rumored out in the public, and that is the situation with the cell phone, potential deletion of messages, how the cell phone was retrieved. And I just want you to tell your side of this, because what we're getting from the media is that they literally had to, coerce you guys into giving it back. You didn't know where it was at. You were hesitant to give the phone over. Almost as they had to turn your wrist or twist your arm just to give it back.
Right.
Well, what happened with the cell phone thing? So let's go back to the first engagement you had when it comes to the family or somebody coming back to get the cell phone and keys. When did that occur, and what happened there?
Okay, well, that night, about 12:30, I went back to my buddy's house.
And you said the night of the 4th?
The night of the 4th, but it was about 12:30, I would like to say. And so I went back to my buddy's house. So I stayed the night before, where we all met up, and stayed together the night before. And my buddy got a call from this guy, and the guy was like, oh, what's going on with all this Nolan stuff? Very aggravated. I mean, yeah, every right to be, but I mean,
So was this the 4th or the 5th that you got the phone call? What's going on with all this Nolan stuff? Let me rewind it back a little bit. Let me just take it back. Y'all bear with me. Let me take it back to about right here. Let me see what's going on.
Almost as they had to turn your wrist or twist your arm just to give it back.
Right.
Well, what happened with the cell phone thing? So let's go back to the first engagement you had when it comes to the family or somebody coming back to get the cell phone and keys. When did that occur, and what happened there?
Okay, well, that night, about 12:30, I went back to my buddy's house.
And you said the night of the 4th?
The night of the 4th, but it was about 12:30, I would like to say. And so I went back to my buddy's house. So I stayed the night before, where we all met up, and stayed together the night before. And my buddy got a call from this guy, and the guy was like, oh, like, like, what's going on with all this Nolan stuff? Very aggravated. I mean, yeah, every right to be, but I mean, we were trying to calm him down, and like, he was just like, oh, like, where y'all at? My buddy said, we're at my buddy's house, and
you're doing too much stuttering for me. It seems like you're making this up on the fly as you go. Now, if this was the same night, the 4th of July, you said 12, well, it's the same day to me. That's still the same day, right? Your partner call you, somebody give you a call and say, what's going on with all this Nolan stuff? If the last time you said you seen Nolan, he was with a female. So you probably, you should have told him, oh man, he with some chick, man. That's the last time we seen him. And he couldn't have called you because, like I say, we all know by now he didn't have a cell phone. So why would somebody call you panicking? Y'all said y'all left the island at what, 4 o'clock? Here it is a couple of hours later. I wouldn't think nothing suspicious of my friend if the last time I seen him, he was with a woman. I'm not even fit to panic or anything. Only thing I'm gonna worry about, man, we got the homie cell phone, man. We just hold it till we come back or whatever. He know our phones by heart, or let me go drop it off to his mama house. But why would somebody call you panicking and the last time y'all seen Nolan, he was with a chick? That don't even sound right.
He said, all right, and then he just hung up. And so about 30 minutes later, I'd like to say, all of a sudden the door just got open and slammed, and there was a girl who walked in, and like probably about 8 or 9 guys behind her, and then another mom, which was Javon's mom. And
who is Javon? I want to put that in perspective. Who is Javon?
Javon is one of Nolan's good friends. He's a friend of mine too. Like, great guy, and his mom and their family is very close with the Wells family. And I mean, so I don't know why she was there, like what was going on, but I was very surprised about this. I was like, like, you just basically like kicked the door open and bust up in the house with no knock or anything.
For what? Why would somebody else come kicking your door in, no knock, instead of his parents coming to your house? Why Nolan Wells' parents wasn't the ones that came in your house asking what's going on? Hey, where's my son at? He left with you guys. He haven't came. I haven't heard from him. He haven't came home. Oh yeah, we got his phone. That's why you haven't heard from me. Oh, he with some female. Why would somebody else family come kicking in y'all door for Nolan Wells instead of his parents?
So is Javon black or white?
Javon's mixed. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I guess he's mixed.
Yeah.
So, but he's not white.
He's not white.
Just white.
Yeah.
Or all white, I guess you might call it.
Yeah.
So then they come in the house. Do you know any of these people?
I know some of the guys.
The mom, but do you know anybody else?
I've seen the mom before, and I know most of them. Most of the guys went to high school with me, and like, I'm friends with some of the guys. I mean, I know some of them. So eventually, like, things started to get heated, and I was just like,
why is it getting heated? Maybe because it's a rumor going around that maybe you or somebody else might have gotten into an altercation with Nolan. Is that why they coming to get on you? Because they heard it might have been an altercation with one of y'all? Or was there some jumping going on? This is just my thoughts. I'm not saying this happened. This is what I'm thinking. We'll find. We'll know. Hey man, y'all know that our buddy just got jumped by some guys, or he got into it with such and such. Oh yeah, well, let's go to his house. Let's go find him right now. Why would they be coming to your house ready to do something to you, and it gets real heated? For what?
A guy I was friends with in high school, he was like, man, come outside with me. And I was like, all right. And I walked outside with him. He was like, man, I don't know why, like, they're panicking, and like, this is just like, I think Nolan's just on somebody's couch. He's been drinking all day. He's just messed up, and this is nothing that we have to worry about. As much as I sat there and I told him, I was like, I agree. I would think he's on somebody's couch, just had been drinking all day and just drank too much and was super intoxicated.
That's bullshit, man. Why would I see what he's doing? He's trying to paint this picture now that Nolan is some drunk. He's drinking too much. We didn't hear none of that from nobody until you came on the internet. All of a sudden, you paint this picture as him being a drunk, sleeping on somebody's couch. You can look at that kid and tell that youngster and tell he not sleeping on nobody's couch. He's not no drunk. Why would he be sleeping on somebody's couch? After the last time y'all seen him, he was with a female. Did you tell them people, hey man, what y'all panicking for? He's with a girl. He's with some girl, man. Y'all tripping. He getting some. That's what we'd think. Man, he's with some chick, man. He probably getting it on. They probably doing the wild thing.
You know, that's kind of what a lot of us thought, but they were kind of losing it and they were going crazy. And the mom that was with them demanded Nolan's phone because Nolan left the phone on the boat. And
why they demanding his phone? How they knew the phone was missing? If you guys got his phone, how they knew the phone was missing?
When we ran in, Nolan didn't ask for his phone, and his keys were not on the boat because his car was parked at my buddy's house where we had all slept, you know, the night before the 4th. And so the keys were left at the house because Nolan's car was at my buddy's house where we stayed at. So of course he left his keys there. But his phone, I mean, he was drinking. He didn't have his phone in the water because no one did. And I mean, there was more than just Nolan's phone that wasn't on the boat with us.
So it was more than just Nolan's phone that was on the boat.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously had all our phones, but on the boat. But those weren't the only people. Like Nolan wasn't the only person that left a phone on the boat. There was a lot of people that left phones on the boat, that didn't ride out or in with us. So I mean, there was a couple phones that we had that we didn't know who they belonged to, and my buddy's got that figured out, you know. But it wasn't just Nolan's phone that, you know, was on the boat who wasn't there. You know, there was a lot of phones.
So when they barged in, they started getting frantic. The mom asked for Nolan's phone.
Right.
Was there a struggle over it, or did you guys hand it over?
I mean, just handed it over. I mean, we didn't think anything of it. Like, you know, she asked for Nolan's phone. We knew they were close friends with, you know.
At what point did you guys realize y'all had Nolan's phone? And if you his best friend, like you said you are, oh, I got Nolan's phone, let me take it to his mama house. That's what I'm waiting to hear. I'm not waiting to hear somebody else came and they asking about the phone, demanding the phone and all this stuff. You supposed to be his best friend. Out of everybody, I guess, that was on the boat, it wouldn't have took you nothing for to jump in your car, head on to your best friend's house and give his phone to his mother in case he calls from another phone.
The Wells family, and my buddy went out to his truck and handed the phone over. No complications, no issue, you know, nothing. But I mean, I told Miss Christine that we had his phone and he had left it in our possession on the boat.
When did you? Miss Christine is Nola's mom.
Correct.
When did you talk to her about that?
When I was on, no, I didn't talk to her once. Like it was like 12:30. I mean, I might have texted her a couple times and like, you know, talked briefly about a couple things, but I told her on the phone before I called the Coast Guard that we had Nolan's phone. Before I called Miss Christine, I was like, oh, well, where's his location at? Because Nolan had his Snapchat location on for me. And he said, you know, it's Wyatt said it's, you know, in my truck. Like, because everybody who left stuff on the boat, it was Wyatt's boat, so Wyatt put it in his truck, you know, like it's just normal. And so the phone was in possession in Wyatt's truck. And when that mom came over and asked for it, there was no issue at all with us giving the phone to her. I mean, Nolan just left it on the boat. We handed the phone to her that night of the 4th of July.
All right, so he said he texted Nolan Wells' mom and said, hey, we got your son's phone. That's what I was waiting to hear. He said, we got your son's phone. If it's a text message that could prove that, then hey, okay, he did the right thing. That's what he was supposed to do. Call the parents and give them the phone or let them know, hey, I got your son's phone in case you're trying to call him or he's trying to call or he want to call you, but we have his phone. That's probably why you haven't heard from me. Okay. So now all we need to see is a text message clearing that up. And hey, he did what he was supposed to do with that part.
And did you guys go through the phone or?
Of course not. I mean, well, none of us had a reason to go through Nolan's phone. I mean, there's multiple phones on the boat. Why would it be? And the boat was having issues. Why would our concern be getting on Nolan's phone or something? I mean, I don't.
You need a password to get in somebody's phone. So unless you got a password to get in somebody's phone, I don't see the message being deleted unless somebody, I'm not going to say you guys, unless somebody who might have been with him last or whatever happened, because we did see a bruise on the back of his head, forced him to unlock his cell phone. But just my thoughts.
I don't know Nolan's password. None of my friends do. We had no reason ever to get on Nolan's phone and look at anything. I didn't even touch Nolan's phone. None of us touched Nolan's phone until somebody took it off the boat and put it in Wyatt's truck, and then no one touched it until we handed it back, to the mom that was at my buddy's house.
Was that the only phone that she picked up, or was it other people's phone that they came and got? Or
that I know of, I think that was the only one that she had. But I'm not completely sure. I think that's the only one that she took Nolan's. That's it.
And so we're on the 4th, where the night, probably going into the morning of the 5th, this happens. Then the dad comes back at some point to get the keys.
Right.
What happened there? When was this and what happened?
Well, my buddy Brooks drove me and dropped me off at my house, and I woke up to a text the next morning that Miss Christina texted me, and she said, "Hey, Nolan's dad's there is there at my buddy's house to pick up the keys." And I didn't think anything of it. I told her that I was praying for her, and that we were out there, and we were doing everything that we could to help out.
And when he came to pick the keys up, was there a confrontation, or? Because I could have sworn I saw on the news that when he came to pick the keys up, it was almost like an altercation because you guys didn't want to get the keys over, or you didn't know where the keys were at.
That was on the news. The news said that. The news said they didn't want to get the keys up. Why wouldn't they want to give the man's keys up?
I mean, no, absolutely not. I mean, I wasn't there, but from what my friend told me, they just had to look for Nolan's keys. It's not like, why would we be hiding Nolan's keys? There's no reason to hide anything. This is our friend. We have nothing to hide.
Why would you have to look for his keys? You shouldn't have to look for some keys. Y'all know he's missing his keys. You're going to put them right here. That's like somebody leave their stuff and put it right here. No, I wouldn't have to look for them.
I mean, we were trying to do everything that we could to help out.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing, because I know you mentioned before that you have no reason to touch the phone. Obviously, you didn't touch the phone.
Right.
But is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that anybody deleted stuff from his phone?
Absolutely not. I mean, like I said, there was no reason for us to get on Nolan's phone. No one touched Nolan's phone, but nothing. If none of us had touched Nolan's phone, then there's no reason for anything to be deleted. I mean, no one even was in contact with his phone until it was moved from the boat to the truck.
All right, so how did his mother and them get into his phone? It's some parents that don't know their kids' password. He's 18. I'm pretty sure if he had a password on the phone, they wouldn't be able to get into the phone. So maybe he didn't have a password on his phone.
And none of us have access to Nolan's password to get on his phone and delete anything. Absolutely not. And we have no reason to delete anything. I mean, there's nothing to hide here. I mean, we have had no reason to delete anything, and we never did.
All right, so I have something I want to make sure that we're clear about, because you had mentioned earlier that you saw Nolan cradling Katie.
Right.
Her name is Katie.
Yeah, Katie.
I just want you to explain, what does that mean? Some people in their mind, they may think he's cradling like a baby.
Yeah.
Like what is that scenario look like?
Yeah, he was. I mean, Nolan was off. The last time I saw him, like I said, I was off the bow of the boat, and like I said earlier, if you had jumped off the bow of the boat, you were probably about chest or neck deep in water. So Nolan wasn't like carrying her out the water. She's sitting in the water, and Nolan's arms are under the water, and he's carrying her from under the water. But her head's still out of the water. Nolan's head's still out of the water. And I was looking at both of them. So.
Oh, so he's kind of like holding her.
Right.
Kinda like,
in the water, though.
Like we grown, right? There's two people in the water. They feeling each other.
Right.
Like meaning feeling they like each other.
Right.
And
that was obvious.
He's a little more close to her, and they're kind of having a moment.
Correct.
Not saying and not insinuating that it's sexual, but
no, of course not.
They're together. They like each other. You looking at him, you like, bro, you crazy, because you know that he like her, and he's
and they like her too. They like her too.
Hanging out with her.
Yeah, right. Okay. Exactly.
That makes sense. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan? And then when was the last time that someone reported to you that Nolan was seen? Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
You saw him at a certain point, but then someone else saw him a lot later when you guys were gone.
Right. Okay. So the last time I personally laid eyes on Nolan was at like 3 o'clock, you know, and he was, you know, in front of the boat with the girl. And that's the last time I saw him. But there were, you know, I've talked to somebody personally that saw Nolan at 6 o'clock, and someone.
Well, who was that person that you said that's someone? Who was that someone? Did you tell this to the police department, the sheriff's department? You came on the Officer Tatum show to do more talking than you did at the sheriff's department. Nobody went to the sheriff's department and said any of this, but you on the talk show on YouTube talking about it.
You know, we weren't even the last people to see Nolan. You know, once we left, there was still dozens on dozens on.
We don't care about the dozens on dozens. Who was the last person that you said seen Nolan at 6 o'clock?
Dozens of boats around us. And I mean, clearly we were not the last people to see Nolan.
So Warren, I'm going to ask you some very pointed questions. I mean, just straight out.
Okay.
I didn't come down here to, you know, do anything other but to get the truth, right, and for you to have a voice in this. Right. And the first thing I want to ask you is, did you kill Nolan?
Of course not.
Did you have anything to do with Nolan's death?
Of course not. And absolutely not.
They say that you guys deleted stuff out of his phone. Did you delete anything out of Nolan's phone?
No, of course not.
The mom acted like, or at least she portrayed on television, and the rumors are that you weren't really good friends with Nolan. Is that true or not?
Absolutely not. I hung out with Nolan probably like 3 days a week. I mean, seriously, at least. So
then why you ain't shed no tears, man? Them eyes is clear as hell. You ain't shed not one tear. You smiling, man. Me and Nolan, we was friends. I don't see no emotion, man. From somebody who lost a friend since elementary, I don't see no emotion.
Some days, my friends want to hang out every single day, and Nolan was always there, so.
And obviously, people may see this and know the facts later, right, that you weren't able to go to the funeral, mm-hmm, or the memorial service.
Right.
Why didn't you go? What was that?
Well, I mean, with everything going on social media right now, with people saying the crazy thing.
All right, let's get past this. Let me see what else they got going on forward. Let me see something.
But I want people to know that I'm praying for them. And if they want to speak and speak, you know, these horrible things, and I mean, you're obviously not in the right state of mind, and you need to work on yourself. It's a horrible thing, and, you know, but race was never a thing between Nolan and I and my friends. I mean, I have friends in my friend group that are Mexican and, you know, mixed, black. I mean, that's never mattered. And I think it's just absolutely disgusting that people try to make this narrative.
Ah, man, listen, man. Look, you should have went to the police department and said all this stuff you saying. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. What do y'all think? Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. What do y'all think about all this? Do y'all agree? He's not showing no emotion, not one tear came out this man's eye. If you go back and listen to all this stuff, man, it sounds like some of the stuff that he's making up on the fly. It's like he's thinking of it as he's talking. If I know exactly something happened, I'm gonna tell you word by word without even having to stutter. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rec Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.